In this class, let us discuss about Michelson interferometer. This is also a case of interference by division of amplitude. The interference fringes which are formed in this instrument are due to the division of or generated or formed by division of amplitude. As we learned in our first BSc theory of relativity, the Michelson interferometer consists of a source of monochromatic light, and the light coming from the source is allowed to fall on a semi-silvered glass plate. Here it splits up into two rays. One is called as transverse ray, which moves up, and the other one is called as longitudinal ray. This is transverse ray and this is longitudinal ray. Here M1 and M2 are the mirrors. M1 and M2 are the mirrors. The transverse ray gets reflection at M1. The reflected ray again come back to the glass plate. Similarly, the longitudinal ray will also gets reflection at mirror M2, and the reflected ray again comes to the semi-silvered glass plate. After reaching this point, they will enter, the two rays will enter into a short focus telescope. In this, we can observe the interference fringes. In this, we can observe the interference fringes. So, this is about Michelson interferometer. This is about Michelson interferometer. The path difference between the longitudinal ray and the transverse ray is given by delta is equal to 2 into x1 minus x2. Delta is equal to 2 into x1 minus x2 when the glass plate is heavily polished, or if it is lightly polished, then delta is equal to 2 into x1 minus x2 plus lambda by 2. Here lambda by 2 is the Stokes additional path difference. Lambda by 2 is the Stokes additional path difference. What are x1 and x2? x1 and x2 are the distances travelled by the longitudinal ray and transverse. When we view this pattern in the telescope, we can observe the virtual image of the mirror M2 like this. Here this is M1 and say this is M2 dash. So, this distance is called as x1, whereas this distance is called as x2. So, when we view this pattern in the telescope, the virtual image is visualized parallel to M1 like this. Then we can say that this is x2 and this is x1, depending upon the path reference. Depending upon the path reference. We will get a constructive interference or a destructive interference. If the path reference is equal to n lambda, we will get a constructive interference, that is, a bright fringe is formed. So, the theory behind this is nothing but the resultant displacement of the two rays when they superpose on each other, and the resultant displacement is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2. Taking the exponential forms of y1 and y2, we can calculate an expression for the intensity of the bright fringe as 4a square cos square theta by 2. From this expression, we can arrive the condition for maximum intensity as well as minimum intensity. So, this is about the Michelson interferometer. So, Michelson interferometer is a device which works on the interference principle. For interference, we need two coherent rays. In this instrument, the two coherent rays are formed by means of division of amplitude. The two rays, after getting reflection from the mirrors M1 and M2, will recombine and gives the interference effect. So, there are different types of fringes. One, circular fringes. Circular fringes, localized fringes, and third one is localized white light fringes. So, these are the types of fringes which we can observe in this interferometer. In this circular fringes, one can observe circular fringes when the two mirrors M1 and M2 are parallel to each other. That means the gap between these two mirrors is having uniform thickness. So the condition is 2 mu t cos r plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. For air mu is equal to 1, 2t cos r plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda. So, depending upon the angle made by the two rays at the eye, we will get the same condition with constant r. If r is constant, then the fringe appeared as a circular one. So, in case of parallel straight of the mirrors M1 and M2, we will get circular fringes. In the other case, localized fringes. If the two mirrors will cross each other, then the fringes are not circular, they are like straight lines. When two mirrors are in crossed position, or unless we will get curved fringes. We will get curved fringes like this. Like this, we will get curved fringes. But the third type of fringes are called as localized white light fringes. If we use a white light instead of monochromatic light, we will get localized white light fringes. Now, let us discuss about the uses of Michelson interferometer. Uses of Michelson interferometer. This Michelson interferometer is used to determine the thickness of a very thin glass plate or a thin film like soap bubble. Also, the Michelson interferometer is used to determine the wavelength of monochromatic light, and this is also used to determine the difference between the wavelengths. This is also used to determine the difference between the wavelengths. As we know that in this Michelson interferometer, the condition for bright fringe is 2t plus lambda by 2 is equal to n lambda for air and for normal incidence. If the mirror M1 is moved to a distance of lambda by 2, then the path difference is increased by lambda by 2 plus lambda by 2, that is lambda. So, in the circular fringes, we will get a fringe which satisfies the condition for the first bright fringe. There we will get the second bright fringe after shifting the mirror M1 through a distance lambda by 2. So, this is what is called as fringe shift. If capital N is the number of fringes which are shifted, then the distance travelled by the mirror M1 is equal to N into lambda by 2. This is nothing but x1 minus x2. By counting this number and observing this displacement of the mirror x1 minus x2, we can find the value of lambda. This is the way of determination of wavelength of a monochromatic light by using Michelson interferometer. Similarly, if you are going to determine the thickness of a very thin plate whose thickness is T, it is to be introduced in the path of any ray. The glass plate introduces an equivalent path difference 2 into mu minus 1 into T, where mu is the refractive index of the glass plate and T is its thickness. So, due to this path difference, the fringe shift is possible. And if this is compensated by moving the mirror M1 through a distance x, then we can write 2 into mu minus 1 into T is equal to 2x. With the help of this equation, we can determine the value of T or mu. And the third one is determination of the difference in wavelengths. If sodium light is used, then the light consists of two wavelengths, D1, D2 lines. So, we can observe two types of fringes corresponding to lambda 1 and lambda 2. Lambda 1 and lambda 2. If the distance between M1 and M2 dash is very small, then these two fringes will overlap on each other. So, when we displace this mirror again the fringes will get separation. If we move further, then again these two fringes will coincide with each other. So the distance moved by the fringe gives the difference in wavelengths between lambda 1 and lambda 2. Like this, Michelson interferometer is very useful for observing the two wavelengths which are very nearly to each other, and also it is useful to determine the very small thicknesses like the thickness of a soap bubble, and also it is used to determine the wavelength of the monochromatic light. So, Michelson interferometer is a case of interference by division of amplitude. In this, we get interference fringes by changing the path difference between longitudinal and transverse ray. We can get different types of fringes: circular fringes, localized fringes, and also if we use a white light, we can get localized white light fringes. The virtual image of M2 dash and M1 are crossed each other, then we will get straight fringes, or unless we get curved fringes. The curvature depends upon the angle between M1 and M2 dash. The intensity of the ring or the fringe is estimated with the help of the equation y is equal to y1 plus y2. So, this is about Michelson interferometer. In the next class, we will discuss about a new chapter, polarization.